Today, we're going to be talking about Kamala Harris and the hypocrisy. Let's watch our first video.
We all know is watching. So President Trump, you've spent the last 2.5 years full-time trying to sow hate and division among us, and that is why we've got nothing done. You have used hate, intimidation, fear, and over 12,000 lies as a way to distract from your failed policies and your broken promises. The only reason you've not been indicted is because there was a memo in the Department of Justice that says a sitting president cannot be charged with a crime. But here's what you don't get. What you don't get is that the American people are so much better than this. And we know that the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us, regardless of our race,
separating us?
Where we live, or the party with which we're registered to vote.
By race and party.
Focusing on our common issues, our common hopes and desires, and in that way unifying our country, winning this election, and turning the page for America. And now, President Trump, you can go back to watching Fox News.
Okay, first of all, don't just like bash on Fox News. I mean, I don't necessarily love them, but like, who cares? You think the president goes on Fox News and watches the news instead of, I don't know, his advisory team or something? That doesn't make any sense to me. Let's get a little bit more specific about her and the border. Here we go.
Administration has decided to vilify them and to trade on them for the sake of this president's medieval vanity project called a wall. Let me be very clear. I'm not going to vote for a wall under any circumstances, and I do support border security, and if we want to talk about that, let's do that.
Asked what would be the first...
So that's that whole clip. She doesn't like the wall, But what's this on Insider? The Biden administration says it may restart construction of the border wall to fill gaps left by Trump. That's really weird. I wonder how she's doing. Leave me alone, please. I wonder how she's doing over at the border. So she goes to Guatemala, and they're not happy in Guatemala over that. This is what's going on in Guatemala. Stop conditioning Guatemala. I think we should have watched this. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. Kamala, go home. Kamala non grata, go home. Yeah, this is very fascinating. Mind your business, go home. Kamala, Trump won. This is crazy. So, first of all, I don't really know what she's doing in Guatemala. I don't know why she went there, of all places. She hasn't even gone to the border. So, what's going on in Guatemala? Why can't you just, I don't know, go to the border and check out what's happening at the border? Speaking of what's happening at our border, we got this going on. This doesn't look very COVID friendly. 3,400, you can't read it because my camera is covering the text. 3,400 unaccompanied children are being kept here. You know, just kids in cages, pretty much. But you don't see the leftists upset right now, even though they all look like...
crossed by themselves.
They all look like actual human burritos. Which isn't racist. They just look like that.
Obviously, the parent pays a fee to the smuggler. The cartel member or the smuggler at this point will bring the kid over. We'll bring him to the river. We'll hand him over to the raft. We'll place him in a raft and say, okay, go.
Kamala Harris, she doesn't like the wall. She doesn't like Trump. And then here's what she said a couple days ago.
I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come.
Don't come over here.
The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe If you come to our border, you will be turned back.
I believe. Okay. So, very hypocritical, because she was saying, hey, come into this country, vote for us, and then as soon as we get voted into office, bye-bye.
¿Cómo le responde usted a él?
I've said I'm going to go to the border, and
When are you going to the border, Vice President?
the administration has asked. I'm not finished. I've said.
What was that? What? Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
That I'm going to the border. And also, if we are going to deal with the problems at the border, we have to deal with the problems that cause people to go to the border, to flee to the border. And that is the root causes. So my first trip as Vice
What are you talking
President
about?
of the United States was to go, in terms of a foreign trip, to Guatemala, to be on the ground there, to address and to be informed of the root causes. Why are the people of Guatemala leaving?
Do you have a date?
Okay, I'm confused. Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. Kamala Harris has this issue where she's in a position of authority. You know, she's the vice president. That is true. It's a fact. And anytime anyone tries to hold her accountable, she gets pissed.
That there's a reason people are arriving at our border and ask.
Yeah, because they want to get into our country, which is awesome. This country's amazing. Are you kidding me? It's the best. We have nice roads, technological advances. We have freedom. You can have guns. That's why people want to get in, because they're not oppressed in this country. As much as you think you're oppressed in this country, you're not. Just saying, this country has got it made. Are you kidding me? We have freedom of speech, freedom of religion. Heck, you could kill your baby if you want to. This country's awesome. That's satire, people, okay?
What is that reason? And then identify the problem so we can fix it.
What do you tell a Guatemalan family who heard you say don't come, but you know they're facing the end? There's poverty, there's disease, all these things happening at once. You tell them don't come?
We don't want. Listen, I don't think that Americans want people to be exposed to harm if they can avoid it. They're taking the trek from the place that they know that they want to stay. So I'm here in Guatemala to say, what can we do to support people and to
Mr.
give
Vice
them a sense
President,
of
I'm
hope?
speaking.
That help is.
Holy smokes. Cruz, thanks for the gifted sub. To Snow Pie. What a perfect soundbite for that.
On the way.
The administration looking to inject billions of dollars in aid to this region to help.
All right, what is this dude's name? Lester?
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, you know, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So
Okay, you haven't been to the border. So what do you mean by we're going to the border, we've been to the border?
this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making.
How do you not understand the point? I've never been to Europe. Dang. Kamala, how are you so rich and famous and you haven't even been to Europe? Even I've been to Europe.